Well, it has been a while, and welcome back to our Google Earth Engine tutorial videos. And today's going to be just a little bit different kind of video. We're actually going to be doing a kind of a question and answer video. It's been about a year and some change since I've uploaded any Google Earth Engine videos. It was in May of 2016 when we uploaded the last ones, and so a lot has happened in that time, and a lot of you have asked questions, and a lot of you have watched the videos, and the system itself, Google Earth Engine, has grown really exponentially, and that's really cool to watch. So today what I wanted to do was just take the time to take a look at some of the questions that I get asked a lot, and then go ahead and go over the answers to some other questions that I thought were unique. Some questions, if they're difficult to understand or if they've been really redundant, I may not answer those, but as best I can, I'm going to try to go through the videos one by one and answer the questions that you guys had. So let's start at video 1. A question I do get asked a whole lot is people want to know if I'm going to if I can put the code that I write in the tutorial somewhere so you could maybe follow along or copy and paste the code. Right now I really don't plan on uploading the code for these videos anywhere. The main reason is because I know a lot of times Google Earth Engine is used in a education setting. A lot of people utilize the calculations to either teach coding or to teach remote sensing or even just environmental science. So what I want to prevent is people copying and pasting assignments and not actually learning it. And most of the stuff that we do here, I show you exactly how to do it. It's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward. You really shouldn't need to copy and paste it. If it were more difficult, I would understand, but this is pretty straightforward. If there's a specific thing that you actually need help with, I'm more than willing to. Go ahead and just comment that, or send me an email, and we'll definitely be willing to help you. I know I've had some people with specific issues that I've gone through, but just as far as calculating NDVI or getting an image ID, that's pretty plain and simple. It's not that difficult to do, and to just once you learn it once, you don't need to copy and paste it again. Let me take a look at another here. We got another question. This is again from video 1. We had someone asking, I was classifying an area but I got stuck while exporting the image, and they wanted to know if there is a way to export the data from Google Earth Engine and to be able to utilize it in other places. So essentially you have two options for exporting. You have a TIFF and you have a CSV. Both of those are available depending on what you're doing. So if you are running through a collection of images and you're trying to get the cloud cover percentage of images from a specific date, then you're going to be exporting a CSV. That goes directly to your Google Drive. Google Earth Engine in its documentation has the documentation to do an export. It automatically does it to Google Drive. You don't have to do that. Just set it up, set it where the file name is going to be, export it. You're good to go. Same thing if you're going to be exporting a TIFF, you have an area that you're interested in, you've already cut out that area, you got your geometry going, you export that, it exports it to a TIFF. Of course the resolution is going to be much lower than if you were going to say be exporting this as its original data. It's going to lose some resolution, and also it's going to lose the metadata associated with the pixels themselves. So if you're trying to get values from those pixels to compute with, you need to know what they're going to be doing. So say you're going to take this into ArcMap and do some other analysis with it, you're just going to be loading in a TIFF. So sure, you can do color scales, but you need to know what those numbers mean when you export it. Let's take a look at some other questions. We had one that was asking, if you have Landsat data, can you get the metadata from it? And of course you can. This is, I know quite a few people had this question, so what I went ahead and did was I went ahead and did an example script right here. This is hard-coded, not best practice script right here. So like I said, if you're trying to copy and paste this to use it as part of your project, this is not going to be what you need, because we're hard coding some geometry right here. We're hard coding a date. We're also hard coding the image ID itself in the file extension, not file extension, the date extension here. So you do not want to hard code this, and we'll go over this code at the end of the video. Pretty simple. The difficult thing is hard coding it and then getting it to iterate if you have multiple images. If you're trying to do it for more than one. And just always know that if you're trying to get an image ID, hard coding is just a bad idea in general, because if you're creating a script or an application, you want to be able to utilize it as many times as possible, as quickly as possible. So right now, while you're writing it, it might be quick to just copy and paste the image that you're interested in or the time and date that you're interested in, but ideally you just want it to pull it from something else to be able to enter it in quickly in an interface. We had an interesting note from a guy named Flavio, and this was also on video 1. He commented and said to be aware that in Landsat 8 your true color is actually, your true color combination is band 4, band 3, and band 2. They actually changed it and did a little bit of adjusting in it. So I'm actually going to put a link to an Esri blog where they talk about the band combinations for Landsat 8, including natural color. So be aware of that when you're working with different images. Let's take a look now. Video 2, we had some other questions. We wanted to know if we could select more than one of the best Landsat images, and I think what I had meant in choosing the best image was we wanted the one with the least cloud cover. And so in that video, in video 2, if you look on line 22 of the code, we work with a cloud cover variable that comes from Landsat itself. So the value is determined by an algorithm that's actually determined by that Landsat determines. So we don't determine that percentage. What we were selecting was the thing closest to 0, and we're saying that's our best one. Now you can say, give me this one and then the one above it. That's just a matter of coding that into your script. So yeah, you can select more than one. The reason I selected that one is just because I wanted the best one with the least cloud cover. The date range didn't matter to me, and as long as I got one image, I got one image. That's what mattered. We didn't have a whole lot of questions on video 3. Video 3 I think was NDVI. Real simple, real easy, more of a visual project. And then we got into 4, we got a little bit more complex with geometry and a little bit more with the technique and kind of putting everything together. We had a question here that says, how do you input data sets from data.gov in Google Earth Engine, and also what types of data sets are available and are compatible with Google Earth Engine? There are different file types and I'm not sure which can be used. So my best thing to tell you, if you're going to be utilizing data, is to go ahead and see what's already available in Google Earth Engine. They have libraries of data that are already ready to go, already formatted, ready for you to upload, ready for you to pull in from Google Earth Engine. That would be my personal advice for you, is to figure out what they already have. If you're going to be uploading things yourself, that's going to take a little more work and a little more trial and error to get it right and to get it uploaded, and it almost, in some senses, it really defeats the purpose of Google Earth Engine, because if you're uploading data, you're not depending on what the beauty of Earth Engine is, which is its computing power. You're depending on your internet speed and your processing speed and just your browser's ability to upload a bunch of data. And so you're not going to want to upload a ton of cloud cover data or a ton of land use, land cover data to a website in a web browser. That defeats the purpose. So I would recommend see what they have available already. Now if you have things like geometry, you have things like maybe a fusion spreadsheet. I know that Google Maps has utilized those fusion tables a lot. You can incorporate those into Google Earth Engine as well. So maybe if you have a Google Sheet that's already been utilized in a fusion table, you might consider utilizing something like that. But as far as uploading big libraries and volumes of data to Earth Engine, I would really probably warn strongly against it, because not only are you defeating the purpose, but it's going to be a whole lot more work to get it working the way you want it. So let me take a look at this, and this was the question that a lot of people had, was getting the image ID from an image. So the first thing we're going to do for our purposes today, we're going to go ahead and just select an area of interest, point geometry, give some coordinates right there. Then we're going to just filter some random dates. This is when I was answering the questions around April. And then we're going to go ahead and filter the images by the area and the start date. Then we're going to get the number of images, which prints it out right here. Then we're going to get the image ID and then the rest of the elements. Now, this kind of will be a two-edged sword. We'll kind of go over two things. So right now you can see what this image ID is because it's print. We told Earth Engine to give us this information in our code. Now this doesn't have to be printed. You can then utilize this in your code to say, hey, I want to get the best image, and so you go in here and you say, give me the one that has the least cloud cover percentage, and then you say from that, give me that image ID, and then this is what you're using. You don't want to be hard coding this information into your analysis. That's just not good practice, I feel. But you can do whatever you want. Obviously, if it fits your purposes and suits your needs, then more power to you. The next thing I wanted to show you is this properties tab right here. This kind of goes to what we were talking about, the cloud cover values. Here is where you'll find all of the values that Landsat has attached to this image. So this right here gives our cloud pixel percentage, this gives our cloud coverage assessment, and each of these has metadata associated with it, and all you need to do is you need to go to ngs.gov and find the metadata for whatever image source you're looking at, and then go ahead and find out how these are determined and what they are. And so the best thing to do is just to do some reading and become informed as to what these are and figure out how you can utilize these in your analysis, because this is a lot of really valuable information, and if you can dig into this and figure out how to utilize it in your scripting, you're going to be able to create some really powerful tools with Earth Engine. So that's what I have for you today. If you have any more questions or have any more issues with Earth Engine, I am by no means an expert. I just happen to really like the service, and I happen to really enjoy that it's provided for free, and that it seems like a lot of people have really responded well to utilizing the service. But if you have any more questions, or if you have any ideas, things that you'd like to see me demonstrate, I'd be glad to demonstrate them in future videos. Hopefully we're planning on getting some more videos out here. Yeah, a year-long hiatus has been a while, but we have a subreddit going if you guys want to go over there and check out what we're doing. People to answer your questions faster than I can. I know a couple people were asking some really good questions over there, so just head over to reddit.com/r/earthengine, and you can find some really helpful people who are also in this field and can help you get some quick answers if I'm not able to get them for you. So thank you for all your support, and thank you for watching these videos and allowing me to learn Earth Engine alongside you guys. And then have a good one. Bye.